Hello everyone. Our topic today is Introduction to Textile Testing and User Trials. Let's get into it straight away. The learning outcomes of this presentation. The presentation will explain why it is necessary to undertake scientific testing of textiles and clothing. It also aims to provide overall clarity about why, when and how textile testing is carried out and then explains its limitations. You will learn about the use of standardized test methods and specifications during textile testing. You will also be made aware of how to undertake user trials. In future, the next 5 presentations will focus on specific tests such as shape retention, durability, color fastness, testing of technical textiles, and testing during new product development. Through this and future presentations, you will get a good appreciation of how textile testing can help verify quality of products and raw materials. So keep watching. Why test textiles? Textiles, including fibers, yarns, fabrics, clothing, and technical textiles, are subjected to scientific laboratory-based testing so as to determine and verify properties or behavior of textiles. Let's see why. Will it fade? Will it last? Will it retain its shape? Is it safe for children? Is it indeed silk? And so on. These are the kind of questions you can answer conclusively about your textile product or raw material if and only if you subject it to scientific testing. If you ever come across anyone trying to answer the above kind of questions without conducting testing of textiles, rest assured that the answer is inconclusive. In other words, it is guesswork and cannot be trusted. The purpose of subjecting textiles to testing is to ensure that they meet agreed quality, eliminate any future problems during manufacture or after sales, and provide assurance to the buyer that they are indeed getting what they paid for. Textile testing is also undertaken during research and development of textile products to verify their properties and inform future improvements. When are textiles tested? Textiles are tested at various stages. Some examples include during manufacture, so as to ensure no resources are wasted on further processing. For example, testing yarns for strength prior to doubling. Prior to shipment to customer, so as to have evidence of quality in case of any future dispute, and also to provide assurance about quality of shipment. For example, testing color fastness of fabric prior to export. During research and development, so as to check whether new products being developed meet expectations and or requirements. For example, testing thermal protection offered by a new cold weather jacket. During legal proceedings, so as to answer questions raised. For example, testing textile fibers or clothing samples found at a crime scene to check whether they may have come from an alleged criminal. How are textiles tested? Textile testing typically requires access to specific equipment. For example, a crockmeter or rough fastness tester for conducting color fastness to rubbing or crocking. Use of standardized equipment ensures predetermined conditions during testing and takes guesswork out. Textile testing generally falls into 2 categories: physical testing and chemical testing. As an example, testing fabric or yarn strength is a physical test, while testing color fastness is a chemical test. The exact method used for textile testing is typically captured in a standardized test method published by a national or international organization. The properties of textile fibers, especially natural fibers, for example cotton, linen, wool, silk and so on, change with changes in humidity. It is for this reason that all textiles are tested under standard atmospheric conditions, i.e. 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degree Fahrenheit temperature and 65% relative humidity. with allowable tolerances. This also ensures that test results are consistent between labs. The exact method used for textile testing are captured in standardized test methods published by a national or international organization. As an example, the color fastness to washing or laundering may be carried out using ISO 105 CO6 or AATCC 61. ISO is the International Organization for Standardization. AATCC or AAT or A squared TC squared is the American Association of Textile Chemists and Colorists. Never take for granted that two test methods published for the same test type are identical. Usually there are differences. Specification versus test method. A specification states what the requirements are, whereas a test method details how to carry out the test. Specifications usually come from end customer, for example, retailer or retailer, while test methods usually come from standardization bodies. Sometimes specifications are called norms. The specification for color fastness to crocking or rubbing of dress fabrics may require that the dry staining is color change of 4 minimum when tested in accordance with the test method ATCC 8. Loosely, both specifications and test methods are sometimes incorrectly called standards. Standard simply refers to a standardized way of work. Instead, the right terminology in this context is specification or a set of requirements and test method or how to conduct a test. Limitations of textile testing. Textile testing cannot help you make decisions about defects in workmanship of garments or textile goods. For example, are there an unacceptable number of open seams, missing buttons, or occurrence of needle holes? Such conclusions are instead drawn by conducting visual inspection of a given lot or shipment. Textile testing cannot help you make decisions about fit or aesthetic appearance of garments or textile goods. For example, does size small shirt actually fit a small size wearer? Such decisions are instead made using fit trials by fitting a prototype garment on a mannequin or a live model. User trials. A user trial is often conducted by inviting real-life users of the textile or clothing product to subject it to use, observing them if necessary, and recording observer and user findings systematically. User trials are particularly helpful when trying to answer broad practical questions such as: will the new uniform fit our employees? Do healthcare staff find the new PPE kit easy to don and off? Are employees happy with the new wet weather jacket? And so on. User trials are often conducted so as to determine fitness for service as against fitness for use. Fitness for use is determined by using textile testing, visual inspection, and fit trials in combination. While these techniques are scientific, they do not involve participation of users. User trials are hence conducted to hear and respond to the user's voice. Conclusion. Textile testing is the scientific and objective means of determining properties of textiles. Whether consumers will like or dislike a textile or clothing product can be further predicted by conducting additional evaluations such as visual inspection, fit trials, and user trials. While conducting these evaluations is not free of charge, it helps save reputation, money, and time. As a rule of thumb, if a quality problem is detected and fixed during design phase for a cost of $1, the same problem will cost $10 to fix during production and cost $100 to fix after distribution. Subjecting textiles to testing will reward you with customer satisfaction and help protect reputation of the business. Thank you for watching this presentation. Feel free to like, dislike, and most importantly, provide any comments. Thank you again.